This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Dr. Fred DiDomenico joining us. Excited that he's here. Elite chiropractic coaching, healed. He does so much, and we're so thankful to have him on here. He's very inspirational. If you don't know who he is yet, we're going to find out. He does a lot to help people, to help other doctors, and really just help people overall and find their whole soul purpose. You do a lot. So, Dr. Fred, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Well, one thing that I like about us interacting is, we don't really have an agenda, but and I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know, what am I going to talk about today? Like there's so much and so little. And then just from your introduction, like, oh, okay, I know what I'll talk about now.
Oh, good.
So it's all good. And thank you for being a wonderful host.
Oh, stop. You're so kind. Please, please.
Getting to know you at least a little bit. So, I think one of the things, when you look at human needs, I spent years studying human behavior and from just a young age, I told this story on the first time, I remember being 7 years old in the front yard of my grandparents' house and looking at my grandfather and his, guinea white tea, just trying to take a nap, and my grandmother's yelling at him in Italian. Well, you probably grew up like that.
Exactly.
Which was constant, right? I mean, they barely spoke English. She's yelling at him Italian, and I'm like, he just wants to take a nap.
Yep.
And B, I'm like, I wonder what's going through his mind. And I remember he was 73, and I'm thinking, when I'm 73 sitting on the porch, I want the world to be different.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if we quote that famous, if you want to call it mantra from Wayne Dyer, we're not a human seeking spiritual experiences. We're spirits having a human experience.
Yeah.
Now that is a completely different reference point.
I love that.
And by the time you even understand, like most people get that in knowledge, but to take that into your beingness as an identity is something completely different. And so through the evolutionary time, from that moment of being 7, I just felt innately like we have a purpose. There's a reason I'm here, and I want to figure out what it is. And then being raised Catholic, my God, you're there. Our Father who art in heaven, Hail Mary. We would go to confession every Saturday. Well, we have to go to confession.
So scary. I'm still scared of that. My son just did that. We have his communion coming up in 2 weeks, but it's scary. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was so funny because I'm like, this ritual is so dumb.
Yeah.
So I would go, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. What were my sins this week? I would go, I disobeyed my mother and father.
Yeah.
And they would say, is that all? Yep. Because if you're not going to ask me what I did to disobey my
why am I going to disclose that information?
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, yeah, man, I know better than that. I'm not gonna chastise. Well, I stole a sweet tart from this. Oh, accidentally lit a field on fire. I think I might have beat up my little sister a little bit, wrestled with her, like all these things. And then say your Hail Marys and Our Fathers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, something's missing.
Yeah, right.
So fortunately at home, we had a relationship with God. Like church, confession and church was a ritual and there were rules. I wasn't really much of a rule follower anyway.
I didn't think so. I knew it.
But, entrepreneurs are born. People are made to make a difference in the world. They're born. They question everything. They're like, wow, you really think out of the box. And we're like, box? I didn't even know there was a box. Where's the box? I didn't see any box. Like a box would be, and if I did see it, I would kick it anyway.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we came in to make a difference, right? So the things, until I moved out of the house, we went to Catholic church. And then it was like, okay, I want to find out who God created me to be. I want to find out, how does God see me? Because there was two, if you want to call them quotes, verses that were confusing. One, Genesis 1:27, we're created in the likeness and image of God. Okay, that's Genesis. Okay, Genesis, the beginning. The word generate, Genesis, right? Genesis 1. It doesn't get any earlier than that. other than the first Genesis 1:1, right? So I'm like, well, if we're creating the likeness and image of God, then how could
Mm-hmm.
we be sinners?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't get what that is. And then, of course, you can give your religious meaning. And then the second one was religion said, even non-denominational Christian, you can never be like Christ. He was perfect, yet he said, if you believe in me, in my interpretation after multiple experiences with him, was if you believe like me, you can do all these things and greater. So if we're created with the Spirit of God in us, because it said God is in the temple and the temple is within you. And that's who we are on the inside. And we're having a human experience on this physical plane. And then Jesus said, you can do all these things that I'm doing, but you have to believe like I do. Then I want to find out what
Mm-hmm.
that's.
Confusing.
Yeah. And there's like, no, no, no. I think religion's got it a little bit confused. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go on my own journey and I'm going to figure this out through a lot of prayer and a lot of other things. Now, of course, we're in our humanity, right? We might understand God's spirit's within me, God's in the temple, the temple's in la 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 la, but we're
Mm-hmm.
having a human experience.
Yeah.
We have all this pain. And
Totally.
then you run into Psalm 139:16 that says, you saw my days when they were unformed. So my interpretation of that is you're in the spirit world, if you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it heaven, you're in
Yep.
that fifth dimensional world, and you're watching a movie trailer of your life. And you're saying, put me in, coach. I want to do that. Through all the pain, through all the stuff, through all that. Now, there was a great book. It was written by Betty Eadie. It's called Embraced by the Light. There was a few books that changed the way I viewed everything. And
Okay.
she had a near-death experience, went to heaven, if you want to call it, saw Jesus. Jesus showed her how the world works, how the divine
Wow.
world and the physical world works, right? Different dimensions,
Mm-hmm.
different planes, different vibrational frequencies, we'll say. And then basically she saw, wow, our spirits, we travel together. We're
Mm-hmm.
always trying to help each other. We have guardians. Everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Even the traumas. Like there's a reason, and that's where it says,
Absolutely.
what's that?
I said absolutely. There's a reason. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then in Philippians 4, I think it's either 4, I forget which verse it is, says, that God will guard our mind that's beyond our understanding. He'll guard our hearts and our minds beyond understanding, beyond our own understanding. What's that mean? That things happen that our human mind in
Can't.
our life may not understand. But out of that, now, if you picked your purpose and you picked this life, and here's the responsibility question that may bend people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
You chose your parents. Why would I
Okay.
choose a father that sexually abused me? I don't
Right.
know. I can't answer that. I'm not that
It's
smart.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would my alcoholic father beat the crap out of me? Why would my parents get divorced? Why would I be sex trafficked at a young age? Why? I don't
I
have
don't know.
answers for those questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I did learn from our greatest pain comes our greatest purpose.
Wow.
So, how many women were raped and then help women that were either sex trafficked or raped or homeless, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many people? I watched my wife take her last breath with
Ah,
cancer when she was 45. That was like a tidal wave of emotion that I can't even explain. The tidal wave. The hardest thing I did when I realized I was sitting in bed next to her.
ah.
And at 3 in the morning, she started moaning like this death moan,
The the
She,
it's called the death rattle. Yeah.
I know. And so she had a 19-year-old daughter who had just had a baby, 8 weeks
Oh
old.
gosh.
She had an 11-year-old son that I was about to adopt. And we had baby monitors in her room. So in
Oh
case
no.
nobody was in there and she called us, right? All of a sudden, there's this death moan ringing through the house.
Oh no.
And so I told her daughter, get Chase, get your brother out of here. Mom's going to go. Just let me take care of her. And it was so interesting because, the irony of it all, I got the TV on and I'm studying these chiropractic notes because now I'm coaching chiropractors. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I don't hear that moan anymore. And so I look over and, in chiropractic school, we learn everything about the body. There's 7 pulses. And, when you're going to chiropractic school and you're being tested, you got to find the 7 pulse and give their pulse rate.
Okay.
So, but now I take her carotid pulse. There's nothing there.
Wow.
Like what intent? No, you don't understand. I must have checked 7 pulses on 50 people. There's
Mm-hmm.
no pulse. I check her radial pulse. There's no pulse. And then literally this tidal wave of emotion that was so intense I can't even describe what it was. Literally like I got hit with a tsunami.
Oh,
But she wanted to be cremated, so she wanted her family to come and view her. My mom was staying with me, so all of a sudden I had to call her family. The
ah,
hardest thing that I ever did in my life, despite every trauma, was to push those tears down
ah.
because I had to get on the phone. And so I couldn't cry for 2 years after that. And I didn't
Wow.
cry for 2 years because the amount of energy it took to shove those tears down, I couldn't get it out.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then, of course, when I thought about it and then I wanted to cry, I go, I know I have to let this out, but I'm driving to the gym right now.
Yeah.
I got to go to work. Like I don't have time to cry. That's
Mm-mm.
how many people you've
Do
been through
that.
these traumas and we store these emotions and you just want to let them out. But you know what? It's just not convenient, or I can't
Mm-mm.
do it right now, or I'm afraid
No,
to feel those
exactly.
emotions. Yet that's the energy in your body that keeps repeating, that keeps attracting the same conditions. We're energetic beings. And Jesus came to do one thing: show us what divine love is,
Mm.
show us what God-like love is. And so after that, I never get sick. I mean, I don't get a fever, I mean, I may get a little bronchitis, but I rarely miss a
Okay.
workout. And so for 4 months after that,
No.
every month I was sick in bed for a weekend. I mean, sick in bed 4 times in a row. The last that happened in 2005. I haven't had a fever since 2005.
Oh my
The
gosh.
last time I got sick, I haven't had a fever. Like I'm telling you, I don't get sick. Why? Because I'm under chiropractic care. Spinal cord and nervous system. Spinal cord is your lifeline. Your immune system is dependent
Mm-hmm.
on your
But
nervous system. So when I get run down, man, I get adjusted. I got a healthy spine. I'm 64 years old. I don't get sick. We don't get diseases. That is a mindset.
yeah.
And it's a physical condition, but I'm under chiropractic care.
Uh-huh.
So there's a good book that I wrote that shows all the medical studies that prove the relationship between spinal structure, energy in the cord, and the majority of diseases that people are dying from these days.
Wow.
Today. It's called The Best Kept Secret to Heal Your Back Pain. You can go on Amazon and get a copy. And I would
Ah.
read it, it'll change your life. So, anyway, the last time I got sick, I realized part of me died with her.
Ah.
And I got to save my own life. Like I'm slowly killing myself. And so I said, I need to go on this accelerated spiritual journey because now I really need to find out who God created me to be.
Yep. Darn
And
right.
then now I had already found my purpose in chiropractic.
Ah.
And then through teaching people about how the spine and nervous system relate to your health, I had people again that would come to me with diseases. Cancers cleared up, blind eyes, deaf ears, diabetes, asthma. I mean, you name it, it healed. And they were all left to go home
Like,
and die from medicine because, after multiple drugs, what can medicine do? Well,
yep.
and what this book shows you is you have health conditions, but all health conditions are the result of one problem. You got an
Ah.
energy problem. Health conditions are caused by one problem. You got an energy problem,
Ah.
meaning you need a stronger nervous system and you need to clear of all those negative emotions.
Yeah.
My that wife died of breast cancer that metastasized all over her body, liver, bone, brain, the
Ah.
whole thing. But when you look at it, she had a very traumatic childhood.
Yeah.
She had a father that never hugged her, never said he loved her, right? So love and pain were associated.
Oh,
So, I mean, when you make those associations, it's no wonder you're going to die of reproductive cancer,
yeah.
right?
Wow.
So anyway, one day the acronym HEALED fell on me. I'm wearing the shirt HEALED.
Yep.
And I was so blessed to know what my life purpose was in chiropractic.
Yep.
But if you can breathe on a mirror and you can fog it,
Mm-hmm.
then
Aw.
you still have more stuff to do.
Ah.
The basic desire of every spiritual being is to
Yes.
know your higher self.
Ah.
You want to know who you are spiritually. You have an innate desire to know who God created you to be and to know what your purpose is. And Ralph Waldo
Mm-hmm.
Emerson says, the two greatest days in our life, the day we're born and the day we figure out why, right?
Yeah.
You
Ah.
know, what's that?
I said, that's so right. I heard that before. My sister says that line.
Yeah, 93% of Americans don't know their purpose. So when something like COVID happens or a major recession, an economical change, you lose your job. What do people do? Alcoholism, addiction, domestic abuse,
Mm-hmm.
suicide, all of those during COVID went through the roof. Why? Because when you're looking for certainty out in the world,
Mm-hmm.
you will surely crash. The
Wow.
world will never give you security.
Ah.
And security is a false perception anyway. The only security you have is know you're a spiritual being. God will always protect you. He'll lead you into your purpose. Life might not be easy, but when you find your purpose, it will be fulfilling. So, people that live a fulfilled, purpose driven life, they're happier, they're
Yeah.
healthier. It doesn't mean it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a podcast. It's called Healed with Dr. Fred, and I need to get back on. I would love to interview you actually. So when we
Sure.
have
Oh my
contact,
God, I gotta do the talking? Oh no. But okay,
yeah,
I could
yeah,
do it. I could
right.
do it. I could do it.
Yeah.
Stop,
Somehow I
stop.
don't believe you.
No.
But so I interviewed this guy. His name was Craig Sawyer. He was a SEAL Team 6. That's like anti-terrorist. It's the highest level SEAL. He was retired SEAL Team 6, and
Mm-hmm.
his daughter was abducted and sex trafficked.
Wow.
It's like you just abducted the wrong girl, right? Like that guy could track you down and slit your throat, and you would never even see him.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, he went the legal route, and they took the guy to court. It's like my question is, how'd you not sniper that guy? But he wanted to do it the legal way, right? So what he does is he took his SEAL team guys and they go into Mexico and they bust into these brothels and they take back these sex trafficked women and deliver them back to their families.
Oh my gosh.
Now it's like, talk about purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy.
Yeah.
But how do you feel when you're sitting in the living room of the parents when you hand them their daughter back?
Yeah. Ah.
Like purpose isn't always easy, but you'll live your best life.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you find it? Well, in HEALED is an acronym. H, first, honor God within yourself. Realize you're a spiritual being. We take you through meditations and all these things. You actually feel and you connect with the energy inside you, right? Then
Yep.
E, exercise loving yourself and others. Really, how to love yourself on a divine level. And even if you have nanoseconds of experiencing that, you learn to repeat it, right? And then A, once you get there, you learn to see all the pains of your past had a reason. If I didn't watch my wife take her
Ah.
last breath, the healed system that
No.
will one day impact millions and millions, a billion people around the world would never come into fruition.
Sometimes we have to go through that pain and that journey as hard as it is, but there's a purpose. There
There's a
really
purpose.
is.
And
There
so,
really is.
well, when you find the purpose in
Ah.
your pain, then you find the gift and you release the pain.
Ah.
Now can look back at my wife's death. I can go back to that moment, feeling her pulse,
Mm.
And although it was extremely intense, and I
Oh.
could put myself in that moment and probably get choked up, but if it wasn't for that, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have evolved to the level I am today and helped so many marriages and so many individuals and so many people find their purpose. I've had people that I didn't know. I didn't know who they were, but they sat in the audience and afterwards said I was going to commit suicide and I came to this weekend instead.
Oh,
And now I found my purpose. Like, can you have no idea who you're talking to?
you don't. And what someone's been through and what they're going through. And oh my
And
gosh.
that's the whole thing. It's like when you feel sorry for yourself, you'll meet, God has a way of showing you someone else that will tell you this story. And then you're like, thank you for my
Thank you.
problems.
Yeah. Someone always has it worse.
I remember I was going through this legal battle. Someone was suing me for malpractice, and we
Oh
went to
God.
court. We won, but there was a bunch of stress. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember, my wife at the time before she passed was all stressed out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go out on the couch. And I turn on the news and I saw a football player, University of Washington. I was living in Washington, came through the line, broke his neck, was quadriplegic, and then shortly after died.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, I
Okay.
will take my problems any day of the week. At this point, you can give me more. What else you
Yeah.
got? Because compared to him, I am
Yeah.
blessed. I'm
Oh,
thankful for the problems that I have. Like the minute you feel sorry for yourself, you'll hear somebody else's story and go, oh my God, man. And then the thing is, and this is one of the things. So once we get to the second E, establish purpose and mission, when you have faith, you will go through things that nobody will ever know. And when you tell them your story of even what you're in the midst of right now, and they still see your joy, then they go, oh my
ah,
God, you give people hope because you understand honor God within yourself. You understand loving yourself. You understand forgiveness. You understand being present after stuff I'm stressing about is going to happen until next month or a week or
yeah.
maybe tomorrow. But let tomorrow carry the worries of tomorrow. Here's the thing where it says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will have its own worries. So check out the brilliance of this. If I say, you know what, I don't have to worry about it, that's tomorrow.
Ah,
Today's Wednesday. And then so we go to Thursday. But if it's Thursday, what day would I call that?
yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not tomorrow because Thursday's today. So I only
Yes.
have to worry about what's tomorrow. See, tomorrow never comes
Oh my gosh. Oh my
because when you
gosh.
get there, it's always
It's
today.
always today. I never
So I'll
thought of it
worry
that
about
way.
it tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the Bible. It's like basically saying, what are you worried about? I got you. God, and I say this whenever I get worried, I go, God is in me, is around me, is in front of me. You're clearing the path. Right? My Deuteronomy 28, my enemies can come at me one way and they flee seven ways. If I believe in my heart, now people think thoughts create things. Your mind is electric, your heart is magnetic. Your heart has
Okay.
5,000 times the manifesting power of your electric mind. The electromagnetic force that we create that emanates from our body. That's
Uh-huh.
why when you're in your heart, the magnetic force that you emanate creates miracles in the world.
Wow.
But where's worry? It's in your head. What are you worried about? Well, a lot of
What do you
times, what are you
worry?
worried
Oh
about?
gosh.
We're usually worried. If it's
Mm-hmm.
worry, you're anxious about something that
Something.
might happen in the future.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
So, so clock time is horizontal. You have past, present, future,
Uh-huh.
right? Past only lives in your mind because the past has passed.
Got it.
So it only lives in your mind as an emotion. Time is actually an emotion because the past has emotions. What are emotions of the past? Resentment, guilt, right?
Regret. Yeah.
shame.
Mm-hmm.
What are emotions of the future? Worry, anxiety. So the only moment that exists is right now. Time is only vertical. It's not horizontal. It's vertical. The only time that exists is right now. A second ago is already gone. It will never come
Okay.
back.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting nervous thinking about this. So, wow. Yeah. Ah.
So a second from now doesn't exist. The
Mm-hmm.
reason people get into worry is because they're projecting a past experience into the future, worried that it might happen again. But neither exist.
Ah.
They only exist in your mind. So what's the bridge from fear-based worry into love? How do you get from your mind into your heart?
Oh,
Gratitude.
okay.
Father, thank you that it's not
Okay.
tomorrow. Thank you that
Okay.
this moment right now.
Okay.
Thank you that I had the experience in the past. Thank you that you're healing every negative emotion in my
Okay.
body and I'm releasing it right now. Thank you that I can take off my emotional backpack of the past. Thank you that I've learned the lesson and now I'm moving forward in
Oh
joy
my
and love.
gosh.
Thank you that I'm now in my heart and I radiate. And thank you that I see through your glasses. God, thank you that I see the world through your eyes. And now that I'm bringing heaven to earth, because thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would you be worried after you said that after you said that prayer?
Yeah.
What do you got to worry about? I don't know. Thank you for being in me, around me, in front of me. Thank you for clearing the path. Thank you for clearing all the mountains that I don't even see yet, and you're clearing them in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Wow, wow, wow. And what do you do the rest of the day?
Yeah.
You should be on a stage speaking. Come on. I mean, I
I
know
know.
you
Come on,
do,
man.
but like,
Anybody listen to this? You got a stage? We'll light up the audience.
oh my gosh.
So, well, actually, I do that,
I know.
and so I mean, most of the day I coach chiropractors, but
Uh-huh.
and you know this, you have a purpose, right? When you're on purpose, man, you need prayer, you need to be connected, you need to manage your state.
Yeah.
You need to show up, man. You need to be a professional. You come on these podcasts, you show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been in major media. I mean, you won like a bunch of 4 Emmys or something. I don't know what
Oh
I appreciate
no.
it.
I
You
just
know,
like talking to people. It's natural. There's nothing, my job is just awesome. I love people. I'm blessed because my true passion, my purpose is to communicate, bring people together. And my purpose is I like meeting people. I don't even know what my well, purpose to be a mom, purpose to meet people. Yeah. I like bringing people together and talking and making them feel good. And it makes me feel good. Yeah. That's my purpose, I
you
think.
just said something really
Oh,
important.
what?
Well, you said you make people feel good and it makes you feel good.
It does.
Right now, we go back to giving and receiving. Like, here's the problem with self-sacrifice. Like some people, well, if I give love, they feel energy leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Like I give, 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 nobody gives back. Listen to the mantras that people say, right? But you're brilliant because your brain doesn't know, your mind doesn't know what's inside of you or what's outside of you. So it's not like we give and then we receive. Giving and receiving are simultaneous because when you're giving love because you love yourself and you love other people and you love God, you're experiencing it as you're giving it. And so when you experience as you give it, you're filling yourself with love. So, in exercise, love yourself, others say, if you give love, you experience love. If you experience love, then, you're feeling love. And the more love you experience and feel, the more love you give. The more love you give, the more you experience, the more loving you become. And that's our only job is to give love. So every time you give love, every time you smile, you probably do the same walk. I mean, you're in New York,
I
but
love walking and smiling at people and feeling their energy.
exactly.
You did the same thing. Yeah. I'm at the stoplight. I look to the right. I'm like, hi. I'm like that freak. but I enjoy it. It makes people's days. They're shocked. They're just waving at me like, why? And then you see a little light in their eyes, like, oh my gosh,
Everybody
Yeah.
just wants love.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to be loved. That's
Mm-hmm.
all it is. And if all you did, you literally and you metaphorically, everybody listening, was just give love, just smile at people, and then enjoy the experience.
Wow.
Do that every day. What are you doing? You're exercising. You're actually giving love and
Oh my gosh.
becoming more loving.
I'm thinking of the song. I can't sing, but all you need is love.
Yep,
I mean,
that's
it's a
it. There
great
you
song.
go.
Oh my God, we're over
That's
time, but I
pretty
can't
good.
help it. We keep talking. Okay, we have to kind of sum it up. I'm so sorry. This always
It's okay.
happens. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, well, I don't know. What's there to sum up? It's like, hey, gratitude. I think the biggest thing is, hey, anything you're worried about, put it to tomorrow, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem. And then gratitude is a bridge between love and fear. Start saying prayers of thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's what guards your heart and your mind. There's so much we can be thankful for, and there's so much love around us, but we
Mm-hmm.
get so focused on what's
On,
wrong. I mean, how fast can you find a problem of what's wrong?
yeah.
But to actually direct your mind to what's good. What can I appreciate? Great question. What can I appreciate today?
Mm-hmm.
How would God see this situation? And it starts to shift your perspective.
It is. It has. Thank you, Dr. Fred.
My pleasure.
Dr. Fred, how do we contact you? Don't go yet.
Well, we did this. Yeah. I mean, email Dr. Fred, DRFRED1, the number one at MSN.com.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, if you want to check out the Healed System, go to
Yeah.
thehealedsystem.com.
Perfect.
And phone number 425-765-3454. If you leave a message and I don't get back to you right away, so I could be a little better at checking my voicemails.
Can't we all, right? I get it. I don't do voicemails. That's why I leave it full, and everyone's like, "Oh, voicemail's full." I'm like, "I see you called. There's no need to leave a message." I'm so bad. But yeah,
Yeah, go
thank
to
you.
Amazon. There's two books, one on
Yep.
health and chiropractic, right? Best kept secret to heal your back pain. The other one, You Are More Powerful Than You Think. There's another book with the same title, but plug in Dr. Fred DiDomenico, You Are More Powerful Than You Think. That will be a life-changing book. I've had people read that book and call me and say, my life's different.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here again, and looking forward to the next time we connect. Thank you for opening up and spreading some sunshine and joy today to my day and to everyone else's. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.